everyone, I'm Colleen with Awaken Catholic, and this is Awaken the Saint. Today, May 23rd, we celebrate the feast of Saint Giovanni Battista de Rossi, a man of great generosity who showed compassion for all around him, even while he himself suffered greatly. Giovanni, also known as John Battista Rossi, was born in Italy in 1698. By the great intelligence he demonstrated as a youngster, he attracted the attention of a noble family who asked to take him on as a page. His parents agreed to the arrangement, and Giovanni spent 3 years with these nobles, where he impressed both the family and a pair of Capuchin friars who visited their home. Through these friars, word of Giovanni's potential reached the rest of his family, and he was invited to Rome by one of his relatives who was a canon there. Giovanni moved to Rome and began his studies at the Roman college when he was 13 years old. During this time, he read a book which detailed many ascetic practices, which he took up himself. Overuse of these practices, however, along with the constant work he was already doing, took a serious toll. The continual strain induced a seizure one day during Mass, and following this, Giovanni would continue to suffer from epilepsy for the rest of his life. This condition made him unqualified for priestly vocation, but he wouldn't be discouraged so easily, and continued to try. With a little effort, he managed to get a dispensation that allowed his ordination, and he became a priest at 23 years old. As a priest, Giovanni worked in Rome, tending to those in greatest need. He had a great love for the hospitalized and homeless, and spent much of his time caring for those housed in the hospice of St. Galla. As time went on, he realized just how many in Rome were in dire straits with no assistance. Among these were poor women, young and old, who wandered the streets begging. Giovanni already gave away almost everything he owned, and consequently had no money to help these women. However, a couple of generous donations, one from the Pope himself, enabled him to rent a building for them near the hospice. Giovanni's kindness and generosity didn't go unnoticed. When he was assigned to the role of assistant priest in Cosmedin, the previously unpopular church began to fill with people. His confessional became so busy that he had to get permission to set aside some duties in order to attend to the crowds of people. Giovanni was still haunted by his epilepsy, which threatened to flare up at any time and often left him very weak. By 1762, his seizures became more frequent and his condition deteriorated, making the last years of his life uncertain. At times, he was unable to move for days, and other times he was well enough to celebrate Mass. In view of his declining health, he was given his last sacraments, and in 1764, he died from a series of strokes. When we're stressed out about our own lives, it can feel impossible to even think about helping other people with their problems. But the reality is that everyone suffers. Painful epilepsy didn't prevent Giovanni from thinking of others before himself, just as we shouldn't let our own struggles make us unkind. Saint Giovanni Battista de Rossi, pray for us.